you know, when I say healing, it doesn't mean that, you know, a miraculous healing event right now, but it's possible. Anything can happen. I'm just saying that. So, did you want to say anything else, Emil, before we get going here?
We're going to talk about our respective little bits here in a bit, right? And then we'll get into the actual one-on-one looking, checking, doing our magic. And remember, the thing about Zoom that people, maybe you know, maybe you don't know, there is an energy exchange here. This is not like, oh, I'm talking on the telephone, which there's an energy exchange there. But this is a direct connection. It's probably more direct than anything else we could do short of being in person. This may be actually more powerful than being in person because it's a direct focused event on each one of you. So who knows, as Rod said, who knows what could happen when we do that. It's all good, but just be prepared. You could have had an energy hit. We're going to exchange energies here. So be prepared to feel different when you're done. That's a good thing. That
is a great thing. One of the other things that I wanted to add to that is, please, let's keep everything to a minimal of information. The more information that is given, the more backstory that is given, the more tainted the reading becomes. Okay, does that make sense? Because you can taint that reading by the backstory by seeding it to take us down a different path. We've already basically discovered and know the path that we want to go down to. It's usually yes, no, and add something to it, but not a backstory with it. And, you know, it's like, oh yeah, when I was 6, this is blah, blah, blah. And the past is the past. We're not going to go through that. We're going to go through where you're at right now with everything. Does that make sense to everybody? Yep.
Perfect.
So, Emil, shall we start with the kinesio testing and explaining that in detail?
Yeah, well, we're going to talk our little bits first. We do our little spiel.
Yeah. That's what, I was going to.
Yeah, so I'm going to talk. You want to start, Rod, and do your thing, and then I'll talk after you?
No, I'm done.
You're done talking?
Yeah.
I may take a few more minutes if you want some information about what I'm looking for and what I think is going on here. I'm happy. It's going to be at least 10 minutes or so. You okay with that?
I'm okay with that.
Y'all okay with that? Let's just briefly. We'll keep it very brief. I'll just make this real short. Number one, every one of you here is wired differently than most of the rest of the planet. You are ultra-sensitive, empathic people. Everyone to some degree, everyone is somewhat empathic. Some are closed way down, others are open way up, and they have the gifts. Some have used them, some have don't, but you're all sensitive individuals. That makes things complicated when it comes to managing life and health challenges. So it's important to know that the hormone and thyroid imbalances for women and also for men, don't forget men, we have our hormone issues. We just don't talk about them. We do have hot flashes. We just don't talk about them. So, but hormone and thyroid issues is probably one of the top 2-3 issues in the world as far as health concerns go. Women are always going, and men too, to the doctor to find out why they're gaining weight, why they're depressed, why they're not sleeping, etc., why they're having hot flashes. So having your hormones and thyroid in balance is critical here. And as an ultra-sensitive, empathic being that we are, doesn't take much to throw our hormones off, our progesterone, estrogen, testosterone levels, and everything else in our body off kilter, off center. All right, number one, you are all iodine deficient. It's just a matter of how much, how long, and how sensitive your body is to that deficiency. You're also deficient in a number of key nutrients that manage and control your hormones and your thyroid: B12, iodine, magnesium, iron, and so forth. There are a number of things, and so there's some of that going on. I won't be addressing that specifically, but it does have does make an impact on your hormone and thyroid. Many of you, as many of us as sensitive individuals, are simply not expressing ourselves fully. We have stifled our feelings and emotions over time. And I don't think anybody can deny that. This is life. We've all hit it. It's hitting us, and we bite our tongue. We don't speak up when we should, and that's going to cause thyroid problems over time. No doubt about it. You're also stifling your feelings and emotions. That's going to mess things up as well. In many cases, you fail to speak out openly. You have, instead of causing a confrontation, you just shut up, or what I call bite your tongue syndrome. Should have said that, didn't say it, now I'm paying the price. At some level, at various levels, in various relationships, work, romantic, etc., we have all been guilty of some of that. especially as an ultrasensitive empath. Pardon me. Here's the big catch. The whole deal that goes out there, when this whole thing about this folly, about hot flashes and give me the gun and the chocolate and all that, that's all fun and games. I'm sorry, that's nice. But the reality is that most women are running around, most every woman at most every stage of their lives is running around with high estrogen levels. You are in an estrogen dominant state, and you have been in many cases since puberty, even before. Your adrenal glands, as a group, I'm not looking individual, but as a group, our adrenal glands as ultrasensitives are worn down. We're fatigued. Our adrenals are running on steam. If your adrenal glands are down, your thyroid has to work harder. If your thyroid is not working, your adrenal glands have to work harder. When they're both down, guess what? You're not really doing much. You don't feel well. You have mood problems. You can't get out of bed. You have zero stamina. That's what's going on here. And the adrenals and the thyroid are cousins. They support each other. When they're both down, guess what? You feel like crap. Your liver is stressed. That's just the way it is. Our entire life is filtered through the liver. Love your liver. We have to support your liver. Am I a proponent of supplements? Yes, but that's not the only thing we do to help that. All the angst on the planet is going through our liver. All the supplements, all the prescriptions, all your anger, all the environmental toxins, you name it, your liver is tired. It's overwhelmed and it needs to be fixed. When your liver is not supported, your liver is not working as well as it could. I don't care what your blood tests say. I'll look at somebody, you can have perfect blood levels for your liver, but your liver can still be out of balance. When your liver's out of balance, your hormones are going to be out of balance because all of the production of the hormone and control of hormone levels goes through the liver. It's all connected, people. It's all connected. And that's what bugs me when I hear about what they do out there. I'm not blaming them. They do what they're taught, but we're all connected. You can't just work on one issue and expect the rest of them not to have repercussions. When you work on one organ system, you have to understand it affects the other organ systems as well. Your metabolism is low. I'm looking through the group now, please. Let's see. Some more than others, but your metabolism is low. Why? Your adrenals are low, your liver is low, your thyroid is low. Hence, no metabolism. That means you could eat like a bird. You could exercise 24/7. You will not lose any weight. You may lose temporary weight, water weight, and because you're not eating, you may lose some weight, but that'll never stay off. It'll never stick. Not until you correct the underlying issues with your metabolism will you lose weight for good. All right. Many women now, many of you are past the stage where polycystic ovary syndrome, you've heard of that one, PCOS, which means multiple cysts on the ovaries. That's a hallmark sign of an ultrasensitive woman who is hormonally out of balance, has Epstein-Barr virus, has liver stress, has chronic hypoglycemia and blood sugar issues. It's a whole syndrome. That's not happening here per se, but PCOS is not a whole lot dissimilar from menopause. It really is the same idea, different age group. And that is estrogen dominance, low progesterone, high estrogen, and vacillating testosterone. That's what this is all about. So today I'm going to figure out for each of you where you sit with all of that. Anybody here, by a show of hands, taking any prescription medicines for your thyroid? Will you please be kind enough to raise your hand? Thank you. Okay, do I like levothyroxine? Do I believe in it? Yes, I do, when there's no thyroid. If you have a thyroid and there's no damage to it, and God forbid there's no cancer or any cell problems with it, there's no reason you should have to supplement that with drugs that whip the thyroid. Levothyroxine, and especially Armour thyroid, actually whips the tired thyroid. What's the thyroid missing? There's one major element too, actually, that it's missing, so it does not function. Well, what is that nutrient? Iodine. Iodine is the magic word. Iodine with selenium is the magic combination. In small doses. I don't use the mega doses that a lot of these holistic practitioners use. I find that dangerous. You don't need it, but you do need iodine. The fact is, though, levothyroxine, is it levothyroxine everybody's taking? Synthroid? Is that what we're taking? Yeah. Cytomel? Okay. Levothyroxine, here's the thing about levothyroxine, most people, doctors won't tell you, or they may not know, or both. Levothyroxine actually lowers iodine levels even further. And it causes bone density loss uniformly. So if you have any bone density issues and you're taking levothyroxine, that is the culprit. And no, they're not looking at, they're not putting the two things together. But wait a minute. So I'm looking for that when I do my workups. But just so you know, levothyroxine is fine if you don't have a thyroid. You do need T4. That's what that is primarily. But it can also create problems, as you can see. Just understand, there's nothing wrong with your thyroid. You need iodine. Make me some iodine. Used to be we had iodine in the foods, in the soil. We don't have that anymore. It used to be we had foods that were iodized. It was added to the bread. I remember back in the day. Remember bread had iodine put in it, among other things. It was enriched. Remember the word enriched bread? I didn't know what it meant back in the day, but that's what they were doing. And now we're not enriched. We're disenriched. All right. In a nutshell, that's what I'm looking at today. I'm going to be looking at your hormones, your progesterone, estrogen, your testosterone levels. I'll check them. I'm also going to check your iodine levels. I'll check your thyroid function, give you a clue as to where you sit today, and give you an opportunity to get that back in balance. You'll feel better. It's the first organ system we really need to get going is the thyroid. When that's out, you got depression, anxiety, insomnia, dry skin, constipation. Any of this ringing a bell? Okay, so all of that is your thyroid not working and more. So that's where we started, of course, energy. So there we sit. That's what I'm talking about. Rod, what do you got for me? Tell them what they want, Rod.
I'm just going to sit here and stare at people. That's what I'm going to do all day. No, actually, thanks, Emil. That's one of the things that I love about this is Emil goes in a spiritual aspect. He can see the organs so much clearer. I see the energy of it, and it's really interesting is that how we work together in a lot of different ways. But DRT is the ability to walk in between dimensions, okay? And so what it is, the ability is that to step outside of the third dimension and actually look in either side of that dimension, which is, you know, there's a string theory of purgatory on each side, basically, of each dimension. And we hold and hide things within each one of those grooves as we go up. And as we realize that we are creatures of creation, and the creatures of creation, because of DRT, of dimensional reconnection, that is, we have bits and pieces of us left all over and scattered all throughout the dimension. And so it will cause a dis-ease or cause some stuff going on that doctors can't figure out. They're really not sure where it's at. So this is the part where I'm going to go into those loops and look for what I can bring back on you. Now, understand that there's a consciousness dimension. There's all these different types of dimensions. We're going to actually use the physical conscious dimension. Physical conscious dimension is in imagining that we are a human being that sits here and we can see from this way and wherever we turn. But when we change that theory of thinking, that is, we become like a drone and seeing so much of a bigger picture and a wider picture. And so we become more conscious and aware of awareness. And so this is the aspect of how we're going to look at the dimensions from an awareness program of it. And it starts with your base chakra and works all the way up. Now, actually, physical form, it starts from the bottom of your feet, but we're just going to use the chakras for today as a experimental thing. I mean, I use the feet, but that's usually on one-on-one with people and everything. But so we're just going to go with the chakras because what I can feel and go upward. And then what we're going to do is anything that's lost, bits and pieces that is lost, we're going to bring back for you. Okay. We're going to reconnect everything, and we're going to bring all of it back so that the healing process can begin immediately, or the process of your journey, however you want to say that. Any questions about what we're going to do here and what's going to go on before we get going here? Because we're going to teach you a little bit about our kinesio testing and how you can do that yourself and everything else. So any questions before we start? Yes, Wendy.
Yeah. Rod, is this like a soul retrieval kind of thing?
Yes. And on the sense is, you got to remember that we have so many dimensions within dimensions. Okay. So a soul retrieval brings the personality and back. Okay. It just brings that personality back. A lot of it doesn't bring the whole soul. It's a partial bring back. So yes, this is going deeper to bring that the whole particle of soul retrieving. And it's not in the shamanic aspect of going deep into it and then speaking, because Tina's a shaman, but it's the whole aspect of going a little different in that trials and tribulation, is to allow me take the journey without you being there. Does that make sense? And so we're just going to travel there, bring it back, and you're just going to feel. And it's the interesting part about this is I want you guys through this whole thing to recognize the feeling. When we do body scans, when Emil looks at you, and then recognize you're being scanned, recognize the feeling of it, because the more you do that, the bigger the projection of the picture becomes. Any questions about this? We all good? God, everybody just got really quiet. It's just like, wow.
I think
Processing already.
I think they're entranced. That's the problem.
It's like it froze. Anyway.
How shall we be aware that we're being scanned?
I'm sorry, what was that, Teresa?
How shall we be aware that we're being scanned?
Well, you're an energy person and you should be able to feel energy being giving, like a Reiki session, or of some sort of that way, feel a presence of energy around you. Okay. And when you're feeling that and you're allowing it, that's why that part is like, only the good of the light may stay, only the good of the light may be around us, only the good for us can be here. When you feel that, allow it to happen. Okay. That's basically what it means to that. And it's just feeling. It's just, that's all it is. It's just, you'll feel a different energy. It may be tingling, hair may stand up, however you guys perceive your feeling, okay? With an extra energy.
Ask a question?
Yeah, Paulina.
So Rod, you were already doing some scanning, right? While Emil was talking.
Absolutely, yes.
And so just as an example, I could feel that. For me, it's mostly tingling in different areas. And I did my prayers and my meditation about exactly what you said, only bring in what's to your highest benefit for the highest good. And so just as an example, I don't know who asked that question, but it was just a general tingling in different areas. And so I knew you were getting to work already.
Yep, thank you, hon. Absolutely. Anybody else feel that?
Shift in vibration.
Shift in vibration, yep, absolutely. And that's, think, filling your ears, maybe kind of like a little bit of a noise in the ear, maybe feeling the shift in vibration. When I was watching you, some of you guys went like this and that. So it's an energy adjustment that you guys are actually doing. Your bodies will actually adjust to it. And you will watch people when you work on them, kind of do an energy adjustment. And that's what basically it's happening is when you get, Emil's talking, he's sending out loving energy and everything as he's talking. And so it's really easy while Emil talks that I can just scan, because that's what your focus is. You're not focusing on the scan. And so I already got a good idea of what's going on with everybody in the room so far. And that even Michael Anthony down below there, hi buddy, that I got a really good idea where I'm going to go with things and that. So did you want to do, Emil, Pauline, did you have another question?
Well, I was just going to add one more thing to look for was a change in temperature, body temperature.
Body temperature, absolutely.
And it is, these sensations are different for different people. Now, some people feel nothing now, but later, oh my God, they can't get out of bed or whatever. I'm not saying that's going to happen at all, but the sensations vary.
A knowing. There's just, some of you don't see or feel or anything. There's just a knowing. Yeah. And that's okay. All this is okay. It's just how your perception is with this. Okay.
Oh, perfect.
Absolutely. So did you want to, Emil, did you want to explain the kinesio testing, the muscle testing that, or did
Sure.
You...
I mean, just briefly, I'm self-taught.
I'll show, you tell you, I'll show. Okay.
Okay. So we're talking about, really, it's really energy checking. You can call it what you want. There are people who get certified, and I didn't do that. I self-taught myself over the years, and I do my way. Now, but other people, there's different techniques to check your own energy fields. with varying accuracy depending on how much you trust your intuition and your own energy. So Rod, show us a couple of things. We'll think about the item or the person and the area or the thing we want to check. And then we put the two rings of your two fingers, your thumb and your first finger together. And then without thinking about the fingers, but thinking about the person and the item we're checking, we do the pull. If the pull holds, it's an affirmative. If it doesn't, it's a negative. And that's one way. Rod, there's another way with the other finger check. How does that? It's muscle testing, but at the end of the day, it's energy testing. Okay, go ahead.
So at first I want everybody to do this, the ring one, because I've been finding out in some of the classes that if you say, show me yes, and then show me no, you know, that some people's, I've been finding out, and this is odd because it's changing, the energy's changing. Not everybody's is the same on show me yes and no.
It's true. You got to ask which one it is for you and
Absolutely.
then confirm that.
Yep.
Now, when I do my checking today, I'm going to employ the services of my incredible spouse, energy worker, Susan, who's going to actually come in. I'm not only going to say a yay or nay, but I'm going to be able to determine to what degree that area is out. In other words, how low is your progesterone? How low is your iodine from 0 to 4, grossly speaking, just how I check. So you're going to have an extra special treat today. We get to know exactly at what level I feel you're at on those items.
Yep.
She'll be
So,
joining us.
the next one, did everybody find out what yes and no for them is?
No.
No? Kathy? Well, let's see your hands, Kathy, or can you? Oh, Jeff, there you go. Now say, show me yes. Don't think about it. Just pull it apart and trust your intuition. Then say, show me no, and do the same thing. And if there's any type of resistance whatsoever.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Oh.
this is yes, and this is no for you, okay?
Got it.
Anybody else? Anybody else? Good. So the next one was the one, now, a lot of people say that you use the dominant hand, but it doesn't matter, okay? It's energy is energy in that. So you do the okay sign, you take your finger, your index finger, stick it in there, and then say, show me yes, then show me no. No? Everybody got it? Now,
Got it.
one of these are going to work for you better. You guys are going to have to figure out which one. And during when, I don't know if Emil's going to use it during his for you guys, or have you do it, because I'm going to have you do yours for me with me. Now, the last one that I liked using, I mean, there's a lot of them, but I'll just give you the three, is taking your index finger and your fire finger, putting your fire finger over your index finger, placing it on the table, okay, and put your finger up on the table. So it's going to look like this on the table with the finger sticking up, okay? And then you do the muscle testing and pushing down, okay? And so it'll say, show me yes, and then show me no. And it will actually go up, you know, up or down. And it's probably one of the better ones that goes along with the arm testing that you can do it this way. We lost Michael again. Michael, you still there? Did you fall? Can you get up? Michael's falling and he can't get up. I love it. So everybody got this? Everybody okay with this? Is everybody ready to rock and roll and do some?
Go over that last one again. Go over
What was that, honey?
Go over that last one.
This one?
Yeah.
So when you place it on the desk, my camera doesn't go down. So, but if you place it on a disc, you stick your finger straight up, okay?
Okay.
And then you push down, and it's like the arm test, okay? And you ask for yes and no, you know, so is my name Rod?
Oh, just yes or no. Okay.
Yep. Is my name Rod? So that's, yeah, I know it is that. Am I 25 years old? Yep, I am. So
Yep.
works perfect for me. So anyway, are we ready to go forward? Everybody ready?
Are you guys ready? Let's do it.
Ready?
All right.
All right.
All right, you want to go first, Emil?
Sure. I'll pick, and then we're going to use the same person for yours, one of me, and then one of you for the same individual.
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
everyone
we'll do
wants
that
to-
way.
all right.
Yeah, let's do that way. I like that.
Okay, so I'm going to pitch first. We'll give it a little disclaimer on what I'm doing. This is not intended to treat, diagnose, or cure anything. If you're sick, go to your doctor. And it's not going to be a thorough exam by any means. I'm just looking at the areas I want to look at. If something else pops in, I'll share it. Okay, here we go. I need to start with Angel because I've been watching Angel from the very get-go. Angel, you ready to start with me?
Sure.
Why not? All right, couple things. It's going to be, I move rather rapidly, but we can go through and see whatever I need to see here. First of all, definitely your thyroid is definitely off. Your thyroid gland is, thyroid gland is low or non-existent, very low thyroid energy there for me. Are you taking thyroid medicine?
No.
Okay. Low iodine levels. Okay. Your hormones are also off. Now, this is going to sound like a broken record because guess what? There are only so many things I can say regarding hormones, thyroid, and the hormones, progesterone, estrogen, testosterone. So you're going to hear that probably the same theme likely throughout. Your progesterone levels are low, your estrogen levels are elevated, and your testosterone levels at this moment are on the low side by my check. Okay. Please remember that you may be doing blood tests for these things. They are, in my opinion, in my experience over 35 years, that doesn't mean that those blood tests are exactly what's going on. It's what's going on in the blood, but that's not exactly what's going on in the body. So I look at everything globally. So your hormones are off, Angel, and this is all correctable, please. So when I tell you these things, oh my God, what am I going to do? It can be easily managed in many cases. And this has happened over decades of time. This didn't happen yesterday. This happened and it's continued down the line for 20, 30 years or more. Okay, so also, I just feel a lot of, if I may, a lot of stress in the heart, a lot of emotional stuff that just absolutely like ready to burst out for me. I don't want to go there. I did go there. Also, your liver. Your liver is also very, you're holding the angst of the planet right now because you're just like the rest of many of us. We're ultra sensitive, empathic people. So you felt it, and you've kept it. So we won't get hurt, right? But it's there and that needs to be released, in my opinion. All right. Cry more, please. All right, I'm going to check some things on you now. Let's start with, I'm going to do this first, and I'm going to pull Susan in and actually do the full check that way. So let's see here. Let's start with your thyroid gland. Thyroid, T3, T4, are they low? Okay, T3, T4, low. I'll check and see how low. Your liver, I already know what's going on here. Here's the cardiovascular. I don't feel any serious cardiovascular issues now, but if this doesn't get opened up and you don't start emoting and start loving and allowing love in your life, allowing to have it both ways, we could start to see some changes that I would like not to see. But everything looks okay at this moment. Okay. All right. Let me check your progesterone levels. Testosterone low, high. Okay, let's check these now through Susan. Susan, I'm going to try this. I don't know how it's going to go on the camera. We may end up sitting down next to each other. I prefer to stand up and do it.
Have her sit on your lap.
Oh, she's too used to that. Let's just go. I'm going to stand up over here. And this is Susan. Say
Hi,
everybody.
everybody.
Hey,
Hi.
Susan.
Hi, honey.
Master
Hi,
energy
honey. Hi,
therapist.
Rod.
The bomb. Okay, let's
Stand
check
or
some things. Let's
sit?
see if you can still see us. So come on to the picture here.
I'm happy you're wearing pants today, Emil.
You didn't like it when I didn't? Okay. Here we go.
Okay, we're
right,
we're
so
test-
taking
we're
the shit,
checking
so
on Angel.
Okay, Angel, this is for Angel. Angel, your date of birth, will you please share?
2674.
Thank you. That's my mom's birthday, 2/6. God bless. All right, thank you. 2674. Here we go.
Okay,
So,
Angel,
Angel.
Angel.
all right, if you want to write some things down, if you care to, here we go. I'm gonna check the thyroid gland, please. Okay, so a 0 is a hold. It's holding. But I'm not, I haven't thought about your thyroid. I'm gonna think about your thyroid and she's gonna hold the same strength. Thyroid. Okay, so it's a 3 to 4. Your thyroid is very stressed. T3 levels, please. Low, high. Okay, T3 levels are 3- out of a possible 4. I check 0 to 4. 0 is good, 4 is off. You're a 3- on the low side of T3. T4. Okay, the 2- on the T4. Now T4 has to convert to T3, and in order for that to be a good conversion, we need progesterone levels to be normal. If you have low progesterone, you will not see that conversion from T4 to T3 complete. And we'll see thyroid issues because of low progesterone. Let's check your progesterone levels. Progesterone levels. All right. 3- on the progesterone. So 3- out of a possible 4. Estrogen levels? High, 2+. So you're 2+ on the high, you're 4 low, 2 high on estrogen. Let's check your testosterone. Whoa. 4-. So very low testosterone levels. Obviously libido issues, insomnia, anxiety, a ton of things, and fatigue, all of that could be a problem. And so that needs to be managed. Progesterone cream topically is what I recommend. Let me check her iodine levels one more time. I didn't check your iodine. Here's your iodine levels. Okay, severely low and 4-. So my recommendation, if you want to explore this, is you take some iodine from potassium iodide, not from kelp. Do not use iodine from kelp. I don't recommend it. Potassium iodide, small dose, 1 capsule, about 200, 300 micrograms mcg. And selenium. This is what you're all good. This is your prescription for everybody. So write this one down. You'll hear it again. Selenium, 200 mcg. Both of those together in the morning. Okay. All right. And one of the things I want to mention before I break loose, and this is important, is that women, more so than men, but there are plenty of sensitive men out there like Michael. Even Rod is sensitive. I know it's hard to believe, but he is very, there are sensitive men out there. When you over nurture other people and you under nurture yourself, there is an actual real cascade of chemical events that occur. And over time, estrogen levels will climb. And that's that's a big part of the estrogen dominance picture in females and males who are over nurturing others as well. Okay, thank you, Angel, for that.
Thank you.
Perfect. So Angel, take your right hand, do this, put it right in your forehead and your third eye, okay? And tighten up, squeeze every muscle, squeeze your eyes and everything else, and then release, okay? Got it? Good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, just put it down, honey. It's okay. What I was doing is I'm cutting the cords from Emil, so all his stuff and everything else, I'm cutting all the cords, and that's one of the best ways to cut cords is by setting this up, and it just cuts all the cords by squeezing and then letting releasing. It's awesome. So I've been watching you also, like Emil has been. I don't know. It's kind of sounds like two creepy old men watching a young lady, but
Wait a minute now.
just saying, Emil.
Who's old?
You. Oh, you. No, wrong one. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's two things that I found. Okay, so basically, you have to understand that we are in a complete cycle, right? There's complete cycles, blah, blah, blah. So if we start from the bottom and there's the first dimensional outside of our etheric body, that it runs all the way to the 12th dimension to the bottom of our feet, okay? Then it starts all over going back up in that for us. So I went from there, I started at the 12th below us, and I went up, and I got stuck. It's crazy, I know, but I got stuck at the 3rd and 4th dimension coming upwards, okay? Now, so 3rd dimension is 3D, okay? That's seeing the world as it is, everything else that's also your fire center within you and everything else So then I expanded and went outward, okay? And I saw all kinds of things, and I'm starting right now grab a lot of them because you've lost a lot of your power and everything else and I'm just kind of bringing them back as I'm seeing them, that I'm bringing them back to bring your power back. And it's a lot of stuff that's going on. There's a cannonball sitting inside there. I mean, you can actually feel like it feels like a ball in there. I'm releasing that and letting that go, but I'm bringing back everything that's missing in the 3rd dimension, which is now how you see things now. Okay. And this is your now, remember that. But so I scraped everything. I took like a great big rake and I took everything back and I brought it back into the center. So now your 3rd dimension, in that, place your right hand on it, take a deep breath. Okay, good. Hold it. There you go. Breathe it out. Now, I want you to see if it's all there. Yes or no. Okay. Do the test. Okay. Is it all there?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Perfect. So now what we did is, because I got the same thing there. So now we're going to move up to the fourth dimension, which, you know, people call this the purgatory dimension. This is our heart. This is a vast amount. And one of the reasons that don't want to put label on this is because then we compartmentalize everything in our heart. And so that's what you have done, is you compartmentalize so much stuff in your heart, is you made a big office space in your heart, and you keep people behind doors and like, I'll be in there in a second. I'll be over here in a second. So you've got all these people compartmentalized in that. And so what I did was I spread out again and everything else, and I opened all the doors, then I knocked the walls down, and I brought everything back into the heart, centering it, getting it to roll back again and getting to work again. Take a breath, place your right hand on the heart, bring it in, breathe out, check, see if it's all there.
Yeah.
It is?
Mhm.
Good. So then after that, we go 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, blah, 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 all the way up to the 12th dimension, okay? And everything seemed really clear, but as mud to you, okay? Everything's clear, but mud to you. And remember what we talk about mud, Angel? It's what's spelled backwards, mud.
Mhm.
Okay. So when we get to the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th dimension, and those are our celestial dimensions and everything else, that it kind of gets fuzzy up there for you. Okay. You're not really sure where you come from, everything else, and that you're looking for a planetary place and that. And actually what it is a frequency place you should be looking for instead of planetary place. Okay. So then we get up to the 12th dimension, which is your creation dimension, which is going to create the next dimensions. You get it? It's either goes to 13 or 1 to 13. Okay. 12 is always the creation. The ones below us, 12 created us dimension. Okay. Then we created this dimension. And then this dimension is going to create the next dimension. And so when I got to the 12th dimension, that because you were so lost in between the celestial ones, I had to bring that back in together to allow you to actually be one and whole again. And that aspect, so that you understand who you are and what it is, to open up all the downloads that's going to come to you and understand the downloads and be able to speak the downloads. Now, Emil did all the throat stuff and everything else. I went right through that one after Emil worked on that. So that was awesome. But so everything's pretty clear now. If you want to do the 12th dimension, make sure everything's clear.
Yeah.
Perfect. And so that's what DRT is. You are loved. I'm blessed. Amazing lady. Thank you, hon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Tina, I'd like to talk with you. Is that all right?
That's fine.
Hi, Tina. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing very well. Thank you. Okay. Let's talk about you for a moment, if I can.
Okay.
All right. Let's take a look at the thyroid. Thyroid is low, very low. T3, T4 are going to be in the 3 to 4 minus range. I also feel like your hormones are off, but not terribly so. You've been through the worst of it, as you would say. So you're going to have slightly low progesterone, slightly elevated estrogen, and a pretty much vacillating testosterone, pretty much normal in that department. So at some point we do get the blessing and it's over. And this is a natural event, by the way. We're always trying to stop this. It's designed to be a cleanse, this whole transition, the hormone transition, and all the symptoms, even the hot flashes. That's really part of a cleanse, an uncomfortable cleanse for some, but that's supposed to happen as part of the natural cycles of life. All right, that feels good for me. Your iodine levels do feel low for me. I'm going to call it 3 to 4 minus. I'm about to check it in just a moment. I also feel, if I may say so, that your lymph system is congested. I recommend that we do some lymph support, and that would include, we can start with cucumbers, or if you prefer to go to the natural medicine route, which is fine, I would get some burdock, the liquid burdock, and do a little bit of that a couple times a day. Make sure you dilute it before you take it, and that will help a lot for you. I do feel strongly that life has kind of, and I'll use this word carefully, congested you. I feel like everything's kind of stuck. I feel like you're at this point where I'm not letting stuff out, but stuff still kind of trickles in. I'm on a trickle recharge, and I'm not doing any discharge. So I feel like that's what's happening with you right now, that you've accumulated the world's problems and you can't touch this. So, I mean, that's how I feel. I'd like you to kind of trickle discharge that. You don't have to explode and let it all out right now, but you're super creative, super gifted, but you feel like, I'm done. Don't be done. You're not done. You've got plenty to give. You're very creative. Arts and crafts feel like real strong for me, arts and crafts kind of things. So okay. So just let it rip. Okay. You're super gifted. You're not done and you're far from it. I love your energy. Okay.
Thank you very much. I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Cucumbers.
Yeah.
How much? How many?
I would start with a low dose, a quarter to a third of a cucumber, maybe every couple of days. They're very healthy for a number of things: blood pressure, skin issues, lymph, and more. A quarter to a third of even up to a half of a cucumber, with or without the skin off. Doesn't matter to me. I love cucumbers. Now, some people actually, yeah, as long as you're not allergic to them, and some people are, that'll be helpful for the lymph. And again, as part of that being stuck thing, ideally, in the ideal world with lymph, one would want to stand on their head and let everything and shake the bottle up. That's what we're looking for, really. That's why sometimes I will recommend those mini trampolines. I wouldn't do that in this case. Just shake it all up a bit. Just do the cucumbers. That'll be plenty.
That sounds like a plan. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. I'm gonna check your hormones though. Let's just do it. Sue, wanna come on over here?
Hi, Tina.
That's Sue.
Hey, Sue.
Hi.
Here we go.
Okay.
Do you mind sharing at least the first part of your birth date?
Oh, I don't mind. 3259.
Thank you. Here we go. 3259. Tina. All right, let's check your thyroid first. Thyroid gland. Okay, it's not very happy. It's a 4 out of 4. Let's try your T3 levels. T3 levels. Well, 3 minus out of a possible 4. Your T4 levels are not bad. A 1 minus, 1 to 2. Actually, got 2 minus on T4. T4. Yeah, 2 minus on the T4. Okay, let's check your iodine levels, Tina. Here we go. Wow, 4 minus. 4 minus. I really. Let's check your progesterone, estrogen, testosterone. Then I have a recommendation, additional recommendation. As promised, slightly low, a 1 minus, as I said it would be. And let's try the estrogen. And a 1 plus, a 1 slightly high estrogen, which is about what I was feeling you would have. Let's check your testosterone levels. And those are essentially normal. So you've passed up that hump, if you will.
Yay.
And those are in good shape. So iodine, selenium, and by the way, some B vitamins for you too, okay? I would just take a good multiple vitamin, a professional grade multivite. Take a small dose. We don't need a lot. You don't need a lot. You're one of those spontaneous healers. You just need a touch of it, or even holding the bottle might be enough for you to get things done, okay? But a multivite, maybe 2 or 3 times a week even will be enough. All
Awesome.
right.
Are you ready, Tina?
I don't know. Am I?
No, you're not.
I
So,
didn't think so.
so I want you to do the finger thing for me, right? So I can see it too. And I want you to start with 1 and just count and pull and push. Okay. Go all the way to 12. Okay. Just do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Good. Nope. Just stop there.
Oh,
You don't need
okay.
to go any further. I just want you to see something. Okay.
Okay.
You live here. So when I did the testing for your dimensionals and everything else, that you surpassed all the dimensional tests, you were blocked in every dimensional all the way up to 9. And that's because you don't want to live, you're living in the spiritual world, not the physical world. And
I'm not having so much fun there right now.
I know, honey, but you can't escape from that. Okay.
I can try.
That's the part. It's like, you just can't escape. And so I'm going to tell you something, honey, first and foremost in that, because you're a celestial being in that, you've actually turned your chakras upside down. Okay. You did.
Oh,
So
me.
this is now your base chakra, and this is your crown chakra down there. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually turn the chakras back around. Okay. Do you feel that? All right. Take a breath. Do your finger thing again and start counting.
1, 2,
Keep going.
3,
Good.
4,
Yep.
5,
Yep.
6,
Yep.
7,
Yep.
8,
Yep.
9,
Yep.
10,
Yep.
11,
Yep.
12.
So, so when we get
What
to
was that?
12 is now your creative area, honey.
Mhm.
So creative area means that this is you haven't seen beyond this. So you've been living in this. That's it. You got to of course you live above yourself, but now you got to go further. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But now you see that you're opened up to everything that I've cleared everything all the way to 12 as you did that, and everything, I brought everything back that you have left behind. It was easy for me because you just blocked it. You didn't really lose anything. You just blocked it. You just shut everything down.
Yeah.
So I opened those back up for you and that so that you can start living here on Earth again. And the only problem with that, emotions are going to come up and you're going to start feeling again. And I know. So, but you have to experience this, honey, or you're going to have to keep experiencing it. Does that make sense?
Right. No, it does. It makes perfect sense.
Okay. You forget how special and what you have inside you. You forget your speciality of that, the purpose you're here. You forget a lot of things and you're trying to find something to forget. Now it's time to remember, and it's this you have to remember. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think it will, and more often that, but work on some energy work of keeping your chakras from turning again, because you want to live up there so bad that you turned all your chakras around. So you'll still get your information, honey. Trust me, I know you.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
All right. Love you.
All right. Namaste. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks.
Nice job there, Rod.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Sandy, I would like to talk to you in Yuma, Arizona. How are you?
I am pretty good. Thank you.
Good to see you. I'm going to
Are you
have
ready
you
for this,
speak.
Andy?
Pardon?
Are you ready for this?
I think so.
Okay.
All right. Let me take a peek in here and see what's going on, Sandy. Okay. All right. So we do have some thyroid issues occurring. Are you taking prescription medicines? Were you one of the folks that raised their hand earlier?
Yes, yes, I am.
Which one do you take, Sandy?
Levothyroxine 175, 6 days a week.
Okay, very good. Yeah, thyroid is still low. Your T4 is fine because you're taking T4, but the active thyroid hormone is T3. So what we need to see is conversion or addition of T3. In this case, back to the same issue. You have a thyroid. It needs iodine. And I feel like your thyroid is low. Your hormones do not feel out of place to me. This is pretty rare. This is pretty rare. I feel like your hormones are correct. Maybe a hair off on progesterone, but really not bad at all. They feel quite balanced to me. Okay. Your iodine levels, however, do feel like a 3 to 4 minus out of a possible 4. And of course, let me check everything and then we can have a combo after that. But I love your energy. You're very gentle, but very spiritually connected. People don't get you, but there's a whole lot behind you that people need to see and understand about you. You are powerful in the realms. That's all I can say. That's what they're telling me to tell you. You're powerful in the realms. And I would agree with that to the extent that people have a hard time figuring you out. And I think that's a wonderful thing. You're just that kind of an energy. It's great. For me, it's beautiful. All right. So let's go check, see what's going on, okay? Susan?
Hi, Sandy.
Hi.
Okay, let's check your thyroid first, please. So thyroid, do you mind sharing your date of birth?
12/25/44.
Beautiful. Happy Christmas. That's beautiful. All right, here we go. Sandy. Thyroid. I'm just barely, let me put my fingers on it. Her arm's already dropping. So it's the thyroid is a 4 out of balance. Let's check your iodine levels right now. Iodine. 4 minus, 3 to 4 minus, really closer to 4 minus, is as low as I can check them. Let me check your T3 levels, the active thyroid hormone, T3. Okay, T3 is a 3 to 4 minus out of a possible 4 on the low side. We want 0. So we're low, we're a couple quarts low on T3. Let's check T4. T4. And as expected, T4 is okay. It's like a 0 to 1 minus still. And when they do the blood, let me check your hormones. When they do the blood test, they're checking your T3 and T4 blood levels. That's part of the problem. That's not what we're looking for. Let me check your progesterone, estrogen, and testosterone. Progesterone. As promised, they are perfect.
Emil, could you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Could you check the pericardium and triple warmer on Susie on her?
Uh-huh.
For Sandy?
A pericardium or the heart?
Well, the whole process.
Cardiovascular system?
Huh?
The cardiovascular?
Yeah, yes, please.
That's a 3 to 4. And then the triple warmer is a 1. Okay. Do you have any cardiovascular symptoms, Sandy?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. It's checking out. Let me check one thing for you, if I may. What I do feel it may be happening here is I feel like you may have your blood viscosity may be a little on the thick side. Let me check that. I'm not making a diagnosis here. Please.
No.
If you have any issues, please visit with your doctor. But it is checking on the thick side for me. So maybe that's what are you feeling, Rod?
Try pulmonary, please. Just the lungs and pulmonary. Yeah, there's something that I'm missing that I'm trying to focus down to. Oh, grieving. Sorry.
Yeah, no, the lungs are fine. But I mean, you have the emotional energetic component. The lungs are fine for me, Sandy.
Yep.
And again, I'm not diagnosing or treating, but your lungs are fine. Your blood's a little thick. You don't really have any physical cardiovascular issues, but your blood is thick. That means there's a predisposition for clotting. We don't want that.
No.
And I'm not suggesting that's going to happen. I want you to drink more fluids. You are dehydrated by my look. So more fluids, please, to keep the blood nice and thin. And I would consider some fish oil. If you're not, are you taking a blood thinner prescription?
I do take indomethacin for arthritis.
Right.
Okay. And therein lies the cardiovascular stress. That's not physical, but it does create stress on the cardiovascular system on a regular basis. You can, it's a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory, and that's notorious for causing that, and can thicken the blood as well. So just FYI, if you go to your doctor, they're going to say, well, who is this guy? Fine, just throw this all away. You don't have to do any of this. You don't have to, you can throw all this information away. Your blood's slightly thick. I would consider doing some fish oil instead. That's also helpful for pain. And I would take something more natural for the inflammation, and then putting it on for arthritis.
Yes.
Okay, there's some much safer choices than that, in my opinion. Anyway, that's what's happening with you right now. Dehydration, I feel like you're low, low there. I don't have any major issues here except the non-steroidals, so that feels fine.
Okay.
That's what I have for you.
Thank you.
Awesome. So Sandy, of course, I picked up on something in the pulmonary heart area and that as I'm going through the dimensions and that. And one of the big things I'm realizing also, along with the arthritic medicine, is grieving. Okay. There's a grieving process that you're going through also on that and the emotion side of it. So you have grieving and, some thickness of the blood and things like that. And the reason I asked for the pericardium and triple warmer, because I seem more like the sac around the heart. So, and that's where the pressure is coming from, basically from the medication. So that kind of makes sense to me and everything else. But also there's pressure because of the grieving process that you're still going through that. Now, remember, our body goes through grieving when we get our hair cut, we get our nails cut, whatever. Our body grieves for everything. Okay. So, but your grieving process has been going on for a while, and you can actually feel it in your shoulder areas here, where I'm feeling it where it dips in. I bet you've put your fingers there. It dips in pretty good, right?
Mhm.
So what we're going to do today is that, because I went through all and I got 4 and 8 was the dimensions that we had issues with. 4, of course, is your heart, which was then when we kind of put that together, I went out past the pericardium through the whole dimension line and I brought everything back that I could with it. And so that's why I'm saying there's going to maybe some, when we do this, maybe some emotions come back with it, maybe some other things come back with it. I'm not sure. Okay, what's going to happen? That's your perception of how it happens, but you can always get rid of what you don't want. Okay, so but I also cut cords. There's 2 cords that were on your heart that didn't allow me to go to the left on the dimensional way. So I cut those cords, and if they're meant to be, they'll come back and everything else. But one was really old, and it's been there forever, and I mean for a long time. I'm not going to say ever, never, but it's been there for a long time, and it's somebody that has passed, and that's why I saw it kind of shriveled up, but it's still really tight on a cord that's to your heart. So then once we passed that, and I went out there, and that I started grabbing things that brought everything back. Then I was allowed to go up further until we got to the 8th dimension. Now, some people say that the 7th, 8th, and 9th dimension are Pleiadian series, Achirians area, and that it's a celestial area. But 8th dimension is also the dimension of abundance of health, okay, and abundance of life and everything else in that. And so I opened that up. I went and got what you needed and brought it back to you, so it makes you whole in that. So would you do me a favor, honey? Would you do the finger thing and just check, make sure if we brought everything back on the 8th dimension?
I'm left-handed. Does it make a
It
difference?
doesn't matter, honey. Nope.
Okay. Do this one?
Yep. Is that yes or no for you?
Yes.
Okay, good. So we brought everything back. So what you've been kind of going through on some of the process of feeling just kind of lethargic and tired and everything else, and that comes from the 8th dimension of as it comes back down to you. So it's now that it's opened up, it may give you some more energy to do things, more things that you want to do. Some of these weird aches and pains that you've been having is going to kind of go away too. So, and that's when we open everything up and reconnecting all those dimensions and that, you're going to actually feel clear in a lot of ways. One thing I did get on the thing is, which was interesting, is that a little bit of candida. Did you get that, Emil? Candida?
Yeah, everybody there's got some candida overgrowth. But
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, but I picked it up with Sandy more than anybody right now. So
Yeah, I mean, more than anything, Sandy, you have a lot of food allergies, and that's
food allergies. That's exactly.
That's what's going on. The colon's inflamed, and you're having inflammatory markers. You're having inflammation from the foods you eat, and even some environmental allergies as well.
So you're clear from base to the 13th chakra or the 13th dimension. I'm very proud of you, honey, and keep up the good work. Okay.
Thank you. I just have one question. The iodine, is that something I should be looking at? Did you say?
Yeah, I would do a small dose of iodine. Well, what I would do you have what kind of a doctor do you have for you? Is it an endocrinologist that's working on your levothyroxine dosing? Who's running it?
We've just moved here and I don't have, I just have a GP working with that now.
If you can get a holistic doc on board, and if you can't, of course, yeah, I work all over the world, but you can find somebody locally. Well, you're in Yuma. I don't know how that's going to work, but if anybody can help you long distance. But yes, you would start some iodine, but at the same time, it's kind of a transition down of the prescription, slow taper, very slow taper over several weeks to months, and then adding iodine slowly as well. So yes, iodine, potassium iodide, about 200 micrograms, no more than that, 200 mcg with the same dose of selenium.
And I know a naturopathic in Yuma area.
You?
So, Yep.
Okay, cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Great.
but Neil's really good too with it, and distantly too. But yeah, if you wanted to see somebody local, that send me a message and later to remind me, because I'm going to forget.
Okay. Thank you.
So Tina got deathly sick, and she's throwing up right now. She's really sick, so she apologizes. And
Whoa, okay.
so after that cleansing, that she, of course, we moved everything around and changed things, so it created a, I just was explaining to her, I texted her on the phone, that explained to her that that's a common, it's normal, and she'll be okay. Just drink lots of water. And that's what I want everybody to know, just drink lots of water, because you may not feel it right away, but Tina, being a sensitive too, she felt it immediately. And I saw the color going out of her face as we were talking. So poor thing. So
Okay.
everybody send her love.
Yeah, send her some light. I'll give
Yep.
you light.
Absolutely.
Okay, Michael, I'd like to work with you.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, and I promise I won't send you to the toilet throwing up. So let's try something a little different here.
Sounds good to me.
No, it's good to see you, Michael. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you
Great.
very much. Good to see you as well.
Thank you. A pleasure. Okay, let's tune into you for a bit. What an incredible energy you have about you. I know you, but I don't really know. I know who you are, but I do feel like you are on a continual, constant download. You're getting a constant download from spirit. And frankly, it's almost too much. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's all great, but there needs to be some kind of filter here, because I just feel like there's so much energy in you, Michael. It's remarkable. I'll say it that way. Let's take a look here. First of all, I want to say that I feel like your thyroid also is out and low right now. I feel like it needs some support. I feel like you're iodine deficient. I feel like you're selenium deficient. I feel like there's some not serious cardiovascular stress, but a lot of energy in the heart chakra for you. And I feel like that's where your power center is. And it's just like ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom in that kind of a way, okay? So I just want to make sure, that we find a way to channel that kind of power, and it's marvelous power. I know you practice. Do you do hands-on work? What do you do? What kind of work do you do?
I do intuitive coaching. I do hands-on energy work.
Some
Yeah.
discharging would be, I mean, that's what I'm feeling. A lot of more discharging, hands-on, hugging trees, laying in the dirt, screaming, yelling, all of that fun stuff. You know the drill. Okay, thyroid.
Yes.
I would like to do with thyroid. There is some stress in the cardiovascular system, a little bit of kidney stress, a little bit of prostate stress. Liver seems okay to me, but you have a really strong liver, stronger than I've seen in a lot of people. It is stress, but not like I would expect to see it in someone managing the load that you're handling, which is really remarkable. I will say it again. You have very powerful eyes. There's something about your eyes that are just, they're piercing with energy in the best possible way. But again, it's all about that download. I kind of been watching you, through the program, and I love it, but it's a lot. Okay, so
Thank you.
yeah, it's my pleasure. Prostate, I'm gonna check your estrogen levels. I feel like your estrogen levels are high. Remember, we don't want high estrogen in females or males, because for males, the issue is prostate issues, and and worse. And for females, it's the female organs and their issues with cell changes, et cetera, et cetera. I don't feel like there's cell changes right now, but I do feel stress in the prostate. Let's check your hormones first. Susan, would you come on over?
Hi, Michael.
Hi, Susan.
All right, and date of birth for you, Michael?
9/22/70.
Beautiful, thank you.
You're welcome.
2270, Michael. That's progesterone is slightly high, which is good. Slightly high. Estrogen slightly on the high, also a 1 to 2 plus on the high out of 4. And your testosterone is pegging right now at a 3 plus at this moment. So of the 3 main hormones, progesterone, estrogen, and testosterone, the changes to progesterone and estrogen take place over much slower, over days to weeks to months. Testosterone is more of a situational, that changes rapidly. Right now, by my check, Michael, you have higher testosterone levels at this moment. Let me check your thyroid gland. Okay, the gland is about a 2 out of 4. That's the stress level on the gland. Let me check your T3 levels. Okay, so T3 is low. And it's about a 3- out of 4. And again, this would be about using iodine and selenium, small doses. T4. T4 is pretty, I call it normal. And we'll check your iodine levels. 4-. So you have very low iodine stores. Your testosterone is pegging right now, is on the high side. Progesterone.
Just got out of the gym. Does that matter?
Possibly. Yeah, testosterone could be affected that way. So yes,
Okay.
yes.
I also just started taking some DIM about 2 days ago.
That's going to lower, that should lower estrogen.
Right.
I like DIM. It's something you may want to continue. The other thing, believe it or not, men do very well with topical progesterone cream. Let me check your prostate real quick. Let me just check it. Yeah, we got about 2 out of 4 on the prostate, so minor stress there. This is not the stage at which I'd use progesterone topically, but it is available to us for the very same reason it would be available and useful for the female population.
Do you mind checking my lymph system?
Your lymph?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was my next thing. You got some drainage issues.
Yeah, 3 to 4 out of 4. So the lymph is
So-
off. Go ahead.
I have a chi machine, the thing you put your feet on and it moves back and forth. Would that be something that'd be good?
Yeah, but I'm just gonna tell you my feeling about that, Michael. For you, because you're not like everybody else, it's working backwards. It's actually
Yes.
giving you chi, too much chi. So that's actually throwing off your auric field right now for me. So what you need is a true discharge through natural means, really. I mean, I literally mean crawling on all fours in the dirt. That's what we're talking about. And I'm guilty of that. I need to go out and crawl on all fours in the dirt because I just get blown up. I'll be blown up after this. But yeah, you're just one of those ultra sensitive, empathic males, super gifted. There's something else I need to point out for you. Let me get it back again. I lost it because it came through and it went. I'll try and catch it before, just in a moment here. Let's see. Oh, your adrenal glands. Your adrenals are working like fire right now. So your adrenals are also strong. They have a good resilience. But I literally, when I see them, they're like this. So your adrenals are cooking right now. Pantothenic acid would be very useful for you. Pantothenic acid, a B vitamin, 500 milligrams a couple times a day. It will make you calm. It'll also help you sleep better. Twice a day. If it makes you too sleepy, then move the dose to a different part of the day, but that'll help.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Hey, brother, how you doing?
I'm doing well today, brother. Yourself?
So I will take your right finger, I put it right below your left eye, right in the center, right below it. Okay, got it. Hold it there. Okay, take your other finger, put it on the other side. There you go. Perfect. All right. So thank you, Mike. So I was having some really issues because the lymphatics really was bouncing when as soon as you said something about it. But you have some drainage in the face and everything else. Your sinus cavities are just like, they're not draining. Okay. I think something's kind of clogged up. So this test was just to test how the pineal gland is working, and your pineal gland is not working the way it should be. So your breathing's off. So that means that we have to start moving that tailbone again like a pump and getting the fluid to move straight up and start working with the pineal gland again, so that when you start moving that pump in the tailbone pump, it's going to take the sutures in your cranial and start spreading out and bringing out, and that's going to help move the fluid into your pineal gland, which is two crystals. It's going to start rubbing back together. Okay. That was the first thing. I mean, it has to go with the lymphs and everything. And, Emil was right on with that. And you asking everything on that, that's perfect. Then I went upstairs, with your dimensions and that. and I stopped at 4 right away. Okay, heart issues and everything else and that. So funny thing though is really interesting. So when I went to the right and I found a little boy, okay, and I brought him back. When I went to the left, I found a little daughter, your little daughter, like a girl, okay? And so I brought them back together, and it was really a beautiful thing to see and feel and everything else then, because there has been a separation of particles in that dimension, the 4th dimension. So I brought it back together to help with you and your daughter and that to bring the energy and coincide with it. So then I went up, and spiritually, you went really well until we got to the 9th dimension. Then it got a little cloudy because you've been, for some odd reason, I don't know if you've been trying to stay grounded or what, but you're floating. You keep floating and coming back, floating and coming back. But so what it's doing though, it's like it's hitting a ceiling. You're hitting a ceiling, coming down, hitting a ceiling. And that is how I saw everything. So I went to the 9th dimension. I created a platform there, and I walked out on there to see what I could see. Okay. Because usually in the 9th dimension, there's not a lot of particles out there of self then. But I saw you floating on the right side in an astronaut outfit. Okay. So I grabbed that, pulled it back, and I saw some other things. I brought it back into the 9th dimension and come back down and then I went straight back up, and I went all the way to the 12th dimension. So we cleared everything from the base all the way up to the 12th dimension. I want you to breathe it in. Just breathe it in, please. Good. And let it out. Okay. Good. Take your right finger, left eye. Okay. Perfect. Other finger, other eye. Perfect. Now you're reset, which is very nice. And you're going to start feeling a little better. Do you feel a little bit of drainage in the back of your throat right now?
Mhm.
Okay. Just
Yes.
let it drain. Let it all drain. Okay. You're an amazing person.
A quick question for you.
Yes.
When you're talking about the breathing in the tailbone, is there a specific breath I should be doing?
Through the nose, and the focus is the tailbone, like a water pump, like you're pumping water. So through your nose, and you pump it so that it creates that fluid movement. Okay. So you're gonna may have to breathe maybe deeper, but only through your nose. Okay. You can practice nostril to nostril, because each one of the nostrils control the right nostril controls your heart, the left nostril controls your liver. So as you start going through this and breathing that and creating everything else, your liver looked great, like Emil said, and it's because all the detoxes you do. You've been doing a lot of detox right in the past. So your liver looks awesome. So keep that up. Good work up with that. But yeah, the breathing part, just enough breath to get that moving. And then you're going to start feeling expansion in your head, because the sutures are going to stretch and that, because the breaths, nobody here breathes deep enough to create that suture movement. And the more suture movement we have, the more frequency we create, and the bigger our auras become.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Thanks, brother.
Thank you to both of you.
Thank you, Michael. All right, Therese, can we start with you, Teresa?
Sure.
Hi, there you go. The light is on you. Yes, it is. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Let me take a look. Okay. All right. Thyroid T3 low, T4 is low, iodine is low, progesterone levels, the hormones are going to be generally okay. Slightly elevated estrogen, slightly decreased testosterone. Progesterone will be pretty much okay. You're very connected, much more connected than people think. You know things you don't know. You know people who know things you don't know. It's just one of those things. I don't even know how, I don't have a word for it. I just feel it about you. There's this energy about you that I'm using the word mysterious because I really don't have another word, but it's just very unique, and I do love it. All right, let me check you. Any lung stuff going on? You have any shortness of breath, wheezing, cough? What's going on in the heart chakra area?
No wheezing, no shortness of breath.
Yeah, let me check. I'm going to check your lungs. Okay, let's check your hormones too and your thyroid. Let's get to it. Susan?
Hi, Teresa.
Hi,
Teresa, what's your date of birth?
11/23/54.
Thank you. Teresa, 11/23/54. Okay, I just checked your lungs. Did you ever have, when you were younger, did you have mono or any other childhood illnesses that you recall?
Not that I know of.
Okay, so there's some lung stress, we'll call it that. Let's check your hormones now. Progesterone is just really normal, slightly low, but normal. Estrogen. Again, slightly high estrogen out of 0 to 1 plus, just a little above normal, but really essentially normal. And testosterone slightly low at a 2 minus out of 4. Let's check your thyroid, please, thyroid gland. Okay, it's a 2 to 3 out of, let's call it a 2 out of balance, it's out of 4. Let's check your T3 levels. About a 2 minus. Are you taking prescription medicines for thyroid, Teresa?
No,
Okay. Okay, your T4 levels are very low at a 4 minus. Let me check your iodine. Okay, it's about a 1 minus. It's not terribly low. So 1 to 2 minus really on your iodine levels. Your T3, what did I say? What did I say? T4 was low. T3 was like a 1 minus. Okay. Would you benefit from some iodine? Yeah, I would do a small dose of iodine with some selenium if you choose. That would be very useful. The hormones feel fine to me.
now the T4 you said was a -4.
4 minus out of a possible 4. So it's low T4.
Okay.
Okay. And again, this may not match your doctor's blood tests, but that's what I'm getting. And you would benefit from a little bit of selenium and a little bit of iodine, if you so choose.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you. Rod?
Hi there.
Hi,
I'm
hi,
a little confused about a couple of things. So would you do me a favor, honey?
sure.
Whatever finger one you want to do, this one or this one, whatever, and count to all the way to 10 for me, please. And I want, can you hold it up a little higher so I can see it? There you go, honey. Now count to 10.
1,
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Same thing I got. So your base chakra and your second chakra, which is your sexuality, creativity, your first dimension, your second dimension, I clog. I mean, when I start with your, you have to remember what your first dimensional is always 1 to connected to 2. Okay. 1 to connect to 2. Dimensional first dimension is 1 connected to something. Okay. So if that's ever blocked, there's not a complete connection to anything. Does that make sense? So it's really rare to see the first dimension blocked like that, let alone the first chakra. So because I went the same thing with that, I went through the chakra, went through the dimension and everything else. So with that, but then it reconnects after 2. Excuse me. So it reconnects after 2, which is then there shouldn't be anything connecting. 2 is creativity to 3. Okay. We in dimension 2 created 3. So in the third dimension. So this means that you were in the third dimensional, you were center in third dimension already without having to go through creation. So that usually means either a walk-in or a braided walk-in that has taken something from you at a younger age, and you're missing your foundation, your second and first dimension, and your second and first chakras. So that kind of leaves me, because I went all the way up and you're fine. There's nothing to find from all the way up. So I tried to look into the first dimension and there's nothing there. This is why I said I'm a little shocked about this. And the second dimension, I didn't find anything either. So what I did was I took your power center and I brought it down instead of up. So the thought process in Taoism, okay? Taoism believes that this is our third chakra, our third dimension is our power center. It's also where what we feed ourselves with. This is what we see and everything else in that. So I took this and I brought it downward and started the fire in the second chakra, started the fire in the first chakra, and then I opened it up and put a crystal back in the first dimension, because mostly first dimensions are crystallized, okay? So once I started that up and that, I started feeling kind of woozy, okay? And I did it. It worked for a little bit as you and Emil were talking, then it went away. So I want to work with you. I want you to look at your third chakra, your third dimension. I want you to see like a sun, okay? Like a fireball. And I want you to bring it downward, down to all the way to your base chakra. And I want you just to hold it there for a second. Breathe it in. Hold it there for a second. And then let it out. Breathe out. How's that feel?
Tingling.
Okay. So then do count again, honey. There you go. Much better, huh?
Yep.
So I'm very proud of you, honey, because that's, as long as I've known you, I've never seen that in you before. And so that was really interesting to be able to bring that back together for you and bring everything back. I do want, after everything settles tonight, when you go to sleep, you recall all the things you've ever given away. Okay. Just recall it. I want all parts of me to become back that I've ever given away. And I want you to say that before you go to sleep tonight. Okay, hon?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any questions?
No. Thank you.
Very nice.
Oh, thank you. All
right.
I like these weird ones. And Teresa, you're not weird. It's just, I like the weird ones.
You always did. All right, Kathy, let's do, Kathy, it's your turn. Can we spend some time together? Just a moment. Let's talk.
Absolutely.
Good to see you. Nice to meet you. I think I may have met you somewhere. All right, let's
I
take
have seen you before. It was wonderful.
well, thank you. It's wonderful to see you again. Let's take a look what's going on here, Kathy. A couple things.
Okay.
All right, broken record, thyroid low, T3 low, T4 low, mostly T3. Your hormones, they're off a bit. Your progesterone levels are going to be a 2 to 3 on the minus. Your estrogen is going to be a 2 to 3 on the plus. It's going to be like this. This is the traditional, unfortunately, traditional hormone profile. And right now, testosterone, I feel, is actually neutral. So it should be close to balance when I check you. You are low in iodine. I would like to remark about your lymph system as well, please. I would like you to consider doing some cucumbers. I feel like your lymph system is stressed right now. I also feel like you could use more fluids. I feel like you're a bit dehydrated. I also feel like, I do feel some like liver stress. I don't feel pathology, but I feel like your liver, you're one of those like, come on, bring it to me, bring it to me. I'm putting it right here. Don't you get near that, bring it on here. And I feel like you got a good department, a good compartment for your liver. And I feel like it is a bit overloaded right now. So I do feel a little bit of liver stress right now. Let me take another look at you. What else do I need to tell you? I mean, I know you feel stuck, but you're, everybody here, I'm looking at all of you, I've seen you all for almost 2 hours now. Everybody here is super gifted, super ultra sensitive, and super empathic. And I'd love to see all of you just begin to take off on your gifts, but so many ultra sensitive empaths, we feel stuck, we get stuck, and we don't move forward. This is a chronic issue. And when we don't clear what's in us, when we stifle ourselves, we literally create these physical problems. We literally create thyroid problems. We literally create high estrogen levels. We create liver problems. We create kidney stress. Because we're not moving on. We got to get off the mark. So with Kathy, for me, when I look at you, I feel that very strongly. I feel like you're in this spot. You've done a lot of, you are super powerful, and you're like, I feel like you're an idling Mack truck, and I mean that in the most loving way. This Mack truck, you're like ready to go. Give me something important to do with my life. And so that's what I feel about your energy field. It's super strong, super powerful. You do know what you're doing. You are worthy of it. So please, whatever it is that you've been thinking about in the last 6 months, it's a go. It's a go. Okay, let's check it. Sue, you want to point over?
Hi, Kathy.
Hi,
Kathy, what's your date of birth?
2/23/65.
Thank you. 2/23/65, Kathy. Check your thyroid gland. Ouch. I'm just like, I'm dropping with it. Okay, so thyroid gland is a 4. T3 levels. 3- out of 4. T4 levels, inactive T4. A 1-. So not too bad. We're not seeing that active thyroid. We're not getting enough T3 built up to get that thyroid going. So basically the pilot light is barely on and the furnace is certainly not on right now. So metabolism's low. Let me check your progesterone levels. Progesterone. Oops, 1- on progesterone. Estrogen is a 2 to 3 on the high side. Is it high? Yeah, it's not low. So 2 to 3 on the plus side. We have an estrogen dominant state as promised, which I'm not going to like promising that, but it is high. Let's check your testosterone. And that's perfectly balanced as we discussed with normal testosterone levels at this moment. Let's check your iodine levels. Okay, so it's a 3-. So really, thank you. Your iodine levels are low. Your thyroid is starving for iodine. This is a common thread. It's what the world is going through. If you want to, help somebody, tell them they need iodine because it's very rare that is not the case unless they've been taking it. Don't go telling people that, but pretty much we'll see it most every time. So iodine, selenium, and put that Mack truck and drive and hit the gas.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Rod.
How you doing, hon?
Good.
Well, I got a lot to tell you, okay?
Okay. I got a notebook.
So I'm just going to run through this, okay? First of all, that. So when I was doing the dimensions, I got caught up in so many different areas of your body that was having some issues. And I'm not saying bad issues, just there's phantom pains everywhere. There's all these different little things that was taking me off in so many different directions. It was like I was going down a rabbit hole. And so I backed off and I was like, I want to see it as a whole. So of course I did the outline of your body and I was looking straight at you and everything else. And everything was coming up in the belly, gut area and everything else and that. And it was kind of like, yeah, it was not good. Okay. So I started clearing and cleaning all this stuff out and everything else and that. And I realized is you're going through a reawakening. And I was like, oh my gosh. So it's kind of like when you watch somebody that has gone through a reawakening again, they're a chameleon and their skin starts kind of just going away and that. And in a sense, that's what's happening with you. And the inside is you're cleaning and cleansing and getting rid of the old and bringing in the new. And because there's a new part of you that's coming in. So you're going through this reawakening. So this reawakening is quite different than first awakening. So this means, I mean, you're low, your whole endocrine system is really low. I mean, that was the first thing I saw. So the endocrine system is just shot in a sense. You're fight or flight. You have all these different things going on inside you and everything else. You're not sure if you're going crazy or you're not crazy, blah, 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 blah. And that because it's all part of that reawakening. So you're going to find different things that's going on with you that is going to come up as like I said, phantom pains, phantom diseases, different things right now. You're just going through a lot right now, honey. So I cleared from base shock, the base dimension, first dimension. I cleared it all the way to the 12th dimension. I just kind of cleared it all the way up. And then as I'm clearing it in that, I brought in some Kundalini energy for you. So that can actually help with the healing process. So this Kundalini energy is you're going to feel it coming up, and its head's going to come up and grab stuff and go all the way back down. And it's going to keep cleansing and clearing you. And your governing channels are going to actually become clear after that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I called all the pieces because there was just so much. So I called a lot of stuff together. And I'm not going to get a very good accurate reading on the energy part because you are going through another awakening. But I think bioplasma would be a really good thing for you, because I think bioplasma will help you. It's what is it? 12 different salts, Emil? Is that what it is? It's like,
I don't know how many, but yeah, there's cell salts. How many others?
there's cell salts, and that is
12. 12.
12. Yeah. Okay. So, and for especially people that do energy work and everything else, and they get really low on their minerals and everything else, because we burn minerals when we do this work. That's why we just burn them, and where bodies aren't always used to this and that. So you're burning a lot of minerals right now. You got a lot of heavy metal stuff going on in you and everything else. And that, taking these salts and that bioplasma salts, I think you're going to feel a little better with it. And I'm agreeing with Emil and you take care of yourself. There's a lot of stuff going on. Pamper yourself. Does that make sense, Kathy?
It does. I don't know how to do it, but it does.
Do you want me? I could come over there and cook for you and everything else. And that I'm looking for a job. So
Sweet. All right.
I'm just kidding. It's inside you, honey. You'll know what to do. It's just understand that you need to care more about yourself and then everybody else, and just recognize that, and you will start recognizing that. And that's why the right side of the stuff on you on the right side, that's why there's a lot of stuff going on the right side, because you give way too much and you're not receiving enough. That's right.
Is that why my left side is tight?
It's clogged up because you haven't been receiving anything.
Okay.
You know, it's like going into a house that the plumbing hasn't been used for a while. It just is kind of coggy, you know. It takes a while for it to drain the rest of the stuff out. And that's what you need to do, is start realizing you need to receive more. A practice that I tell some of my clients is that when you walk around in crowds and that, take your right hand and put it behind your back and walk around with just your left hand out. Okay. Now that's kind of a symbolization in your mind to tell you that don't be given anything, everything you receive everything. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yep. Just practice that and play with it. More receiving for you than giving.
Okay.
You're blessed, sweetie.
Thank you. Namaste.
Thanks, honey. Namaste. See, we have what, Paulina and Wendy, right? That's
Paulina and Wendy. Huh? You want to pick that? You want to pick?
Actually, I want to leave Wendy for last.
Okay, I was going to pick Paulina, so that's perfect.
Yes, because I see something.
Don't listen to him. All right, Paulina. Yeah, you can listen to him. Are you ready for me? Let's just tune in here and see what's going on. All right. Super powerful energy, super connected. I'm going to call you slightly hyperthyroid on the high side. I'm going to say your T3 is balanced. Your T4 is low. I'm going to check it, and your iodine levels are on the low side. You're vibrating at a very high frequency. I also feel like your hormones, your progesterone levels are going to come in balanced. Your estrogen levels are going to come in elevated, and your testosterone levels are going to come in elevated. So normal progesterone, high estrogen, and high testosterone. You're basically an energetic spark plug right now, and you have been. You continue to be sparked. But the sparks, I don't feel like they're as organized as they could be, but they're amazing pieces of energy that you need to find. You need to find a way to channel those and bring those together into one focal point. That's what I feel about your energy, that we have lots of great bits and pieces here and bringing it together would be lovely. And I feel like that's what's happening with your body as well. It's like a rocket ready to supercharge, but it's not sure where it's going. It just knows that it's ready to take off, has been ready for about 20 years, but here we still sit. So that's what I feel about you. What else do I need to tell you? There was something else I need to tell you. Adrenal glands, I feel like your kidneys are a bit stressed, and I feel like your adrenal glands are strong, but I do feel like they are being taxed. And so there is some adrenal stress at this point in time. You may even have some mid to lower back discomfort from time to time, but I do feel adrenals are in play right now. That's the big stuff for me. We want to watch the cardiovascular chakra because there's a lot of energy there. I don't feel any major, any pathology, but just a lot of energy stuck here. Again, power center for you, I feel, is in that section, a little bit in the solar plexus, but for me, primarily in the cardiovascular heart chakra area. Okay. All right, let's see, what else do you need to know? That's it for now. Let me check you though. I'm curious to see how this shows up. What's your date of birth, Paulina? I'm sorry, once again?
16th, 1/6.
Okay, May 16, here we go.
Hi, Paulina.
Hi.
All right, Sue, it's Paulina. Here we go. Progesterone levels. 0 to 1 on the low side. Yeah, so 0 to 1, essentially normal on progesterone. Estrogen levels. Jesus. Once again. Estrogen is a 3 to 4 on the high side, closer to 4. So 4 plus at the top. All right. And your testosterone is a 3 plus. So progesterone normal, estrogen climbing, testosterone even a bit higher at a 3 to, well, they're both about a 3 to 4. It's that spark plug energy. Don't put any combustibles near that because it's going to blow up. Okay, here we go. Let's check your thyroid function. Thyroid gland. The gland itself is stressed at about a 1 out of 4. Let's check your levels. Yeah, your T3 is normal. And that's all this other energy that's coming. You literally are energizing your own thyroid. Is this possible? Sure. I don't feel like you're that iodine deficient. I'm going to check you, but I don't feel that. T4. Yeah, just as we discussed, so 4 minus on the T4, the T3 is normal. And again, I'm feeling this is all about that energy we discussed. Let me check your adrenal glands. No, I'm checking your adrenal glands. Hold tight. Adrenals. Okay. Kidneys. Yeah, so adrenal kidney, that's a stress point for you right now. Really, a pantothenic acid. Very nice, calming, relaxing, centered. I like it, especially for bedtime. Are you getting sleep, enough sleep?
I am, and related to that, I wanted to ask you about one other thing.
Okay.
Do you detect any, a different hormone or HCG?
As in being pregnant?
Not sure.
I hate doing those because it's not fair. No, it is fair, but I think Rod and I will flip a coin and we'll come up with that.
Okay.
No, I'd rather not do it. And then Rod's going, no, no. I think let's put it this way. If you are, this child is going to be the spitting image of you. It's going to have your metabolics, your everything. I already see that child. I don't know if it's in vitro, but I see the child.
Yes. You are spot on. Yes.
All right. Well, thank you, Paulina. Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Hi, dear.
Hi.
So this is very interesting. So I went through, the whole kit and caboodle and that. I had a hard time getting through the 4th dimension because just like Emil said, you're such a spark. Okay. It was so bright in that dimensional 4th dimension that I kind of had that hard time maneuvering to where I was going. And so once I got past that though, it was very clear to me that there's a lot of things going on with you after I got past that. So just like we were talking with Kathy and everything else was really interesting is heavy metals for you came up. Are you on anything right now?
Like what? Like a prescription? Or?
Yeah, prescription medication.
I actually went off prescription, caffeine, and alcohol about a month ago.
Good for you, honey. Good for you. So would you do me a favor? Would you take your right arm and go in front of you? Okay, just like this. And then take your left arm and put it on here and then resist and push. Okay, then do it the other way. Resist and push. Yep.
More resistance on the right side.
Absolutely. So, so that's, people with heavy metals have a hard time doing this. Okay. And this, and this. And I noticed that, when you switched to that, you were having a little bit of a loss on the left-hand side and that. So there is a little bit of heavy metals that's going on that side, which then kind of coincides with all the other things that is fitting in line with the energy that I saw in every one of the dimensions. So I went back down to the 4th dimension and I decided that I was going to just play around that energy and broaden my expansion and go side to side in that. And of course, right away, your boys are all around me. You wear your boys around you. I mean, you do. They're like a necklace for you. And it's really interesting is that they kept coming in, and then I watched them stoke the fire. They're the ones that are putting the fire to make you so bright. And I was like, oh, this is really cool. So I brought all that energy back to the center and everything else. That it didn't dim the light, but it made it more circular in a sense. Instead of blasting out like a shotgun blast, it's more directed. And this way, I think you're going to have a better direction of where this goes to and not be a light shining on all around. Okay. Because that's what you do is you're going to bring people from all over the place and that coming in to see what the light's about. But if we focus it more like Iron Man, you're going to be able to concentrate and send it where you want to send it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You are amazing in a lot of ways, and your energy is amazing. You have a lot of amazing gifts that's inside you that you have not opened those up yet. And the interesting thing is that when I asked because when I got to the 8th dimension, I asked to see your gifts, and all I saw was a treasure chest that was going up and down like this, like it's in a aquarium. That's the aquarium chest, and it bloop, 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 bloop. So you're touching just a little bit. You need to expand it, honey. You need to get it out there and everything else. Everybody understands, and I know you especially, Pauline, because you understand energy. You went through Cannon's her stuff and everything else. You're a great study with energy. But what happens to a person when they don't use your energy?
It wants to explode or come out in ways that don't necessarily serve us and aren't targeted, and
it's going to make you ill in some way. It's going to give you illnesses in different areas of your body and everything else. And then it festers, and then, you have to use that energy so much more. Okay.
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 May I, thank you so much, both of you. And may I leave just one comment for Sandy and for you? You mentioned an older heart cord. That you said an older heart cord.
Oh, yes.
It's a really special and strong energy that keeps coming into me. And I wasn't even going to mention it, but I just wanted to mention that in case you two want to chat about that more.
Okay.
Really special.
Thank you. It is very special. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Pauline. It's nice to see you again too.
Good to see you.
All right, we have one left. Before we jump in, Angel, I've been trying to hold us back since I visited with you earlier, but your name is not by accident. And I needed to say that because they made sure that I told you that, and I'm not trying to be cute. I'm not trying to be trite. I don't do that. But I just feel like you're this, can I use the word stuck angel? I'm going to call you a stuck angel in the best way possible. But you have this, you are the rescuer. You are the rescuer. And so I ask now that you allow us to rescue you and let others rescue you so you can do the work you came here to do. But the name, you know, some people have the name Angel and they're certainly not, but this is one of those where you live up to it. So I just needed to say that before I move on. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Somebody has a crush on you. Somebody has a crush on you.
You're so funny. Wendy, let's talk a little bit, okay?
Okay.
No, I don't want to go to Wendy yet. Okay, yes.
Oh, you don't, is there anybody else?
I'm joking.
What?
Let's-
Wendy, it's great. Last and not least, as usual, beautiful to see you. Let's chat a little bit. Thyroid low, T3, T4 at about a 3-. Thyroid gland at about a 1 to 2, just on the stress level. What else do I need to tell you? Iodine levels, they're quite low. In fact, in this case, what I'm seeing is significant issues. By the way, there's malabsorption issues for everybody. We all have some of that, some more than others, but Wendy, for you, it's just slaps my face. I really feel like you're not absorbing nutrients. You're significantly deficient in a number of things, B12, iron, magnesium, potassium, B12 especially. But I feel like there's been some chronic digestive issues over the years, and they may be, you know, causing some issues at this particular time. You may not realize that you can feel better than you do. I'm just going to say that because, and your iodine levels are very low, 4-. We'll check them.
Wow. And I supplement heavily.
With iodine?
Yeah.
How much?
Well, I use the Lugel's iodine and I do like 6 drops, 5 to 6 drops a day.
Something is off. So you're either too high or too low, but your iodine levels are not correct.
Okay.
So I'm going to check you. It may be too high, but I also feel like your B12 levels are quite low. Your entire B complex, all your Bs are very low. Okay. And so B12 would be something I would definitely supplement here. How long have you been on this Lugol's?
Probably since 2013.
Are you taking selenium with it?
I am.
Okay.
I take about 600 micrograms a day of selenium.
Okay, then we're doing too much. Let me check you right now because I feel like something is off on the iodine scenario. Let's check it right now. Sue, you want to come over?
Hi, Wendy.
Hi.
Wendy, what's your date of birth?
4261.
Okay, 4261 Wendy. Let's start with iodine levels. Okay. Okay, I am not even touching. I'm putting my two fingers on her wrist, and I literally, before I put my hand there, it's already dropping. So something's not right here. Let's see. How much Lugol's are you taking? How many?
About 5 to 6 drops a day. However, let me tell you, I'm doing chelation with DMSA Sesame. I don't know if that's affecting it or not.
Yes, yes, and yes. Because your nervous system's is really wired for me right now, super fried. Let me check. You're doing, what are you chelating with?
DMSA Sesame, and I'm on day 5 of 5 today.
Something's awry. Let me check Let me check your iodine levels. Okay, they're like off the charts too high. Okay, so you have very high iodine. I knew your iodine is off. I can see by looking at your iodine's off, but it is, if you're taking it, then that's what's going on here. You're too high. Let me check your thyroid gland. It's not super happy at a 3 out of 4. It's stressed right now. T3 levels, let's see. T4 levels. Okay, you're hyperthyroid right now. You are hyperthyroid 4+ on both T3 and T4. From hyperiodine. All right, I don't use those kinds of, that's a mega dose. You're probably taking, I'll have to do the math, but you're probably taking about 20 to 30,000 micrograms a day.
Well, I assumed that doing the oral chelation would get rid of it, so I took a little extra.
Yeah, I would be really cautious with that.
Okay.
You're not having any palpitations or anything like that, right?
No.
Okay. Let me check your hormones. Okay, you have very low progesterone levels at 3 to 4-. And you have a 2+ on estrogen, so you have a very low progesterone, very low, and high estrogen. And let's check your testosterone, which is going to be high. Testosterone. a 3+ on the testosterone. So having done cleanses myself over the years and having seen thousands of my patients go through it, you got to be really careful. I'm not saying you're doing it wrong, nor am I here to, I'm not here to comment other than the fact that you are hyperthyroid right now, your liver is super stressed right now, and your thyroid is through the roof. So
My thyroid is what?
is high.
Okay.
I mean, it's artificially high right now.
Mhm.
Well, it's not artificially high because you're taking, as far as I'm concerned, way too high a dose of iodine. Of course, iodine is a great detoxifier of heavy metals, but you got the whole thing working right now, and I feel like it's too much. I feel like your body is just kind of reached a limit here. So I would just, I'm not telling you what to do or how to do it, but
No, I appreciate that.
would
I
meditate-
mean,
I'd meditate on that. If it was me, you have one more day on this thing, and I would stop and let your liver rest and let your thyroid rest. I would cut your iodine dose. I would taper down as quickly as you could after this cleanse is done. And then when I can, if you need me, you can reach out, I'll recheck you. But we're dealing with an iodine issue, but it's on the hyper.
okay.
Yeah. I love your energy. Really great. Remember, you're sensitive. We can't take too much. I know that I can barely do a detox of any kind without blowing up. So caution.
How's my lymphatic?
It's like a bubbling sauna right now. So it's really trying to clear it. It's about to,
Okay.
it's just bubbling over. Think of a spa water, those jets in the spa, whatever, that's a jacuzzi. That's what it looks like to me.
Okay.
Okay. That's a little too much. And we're pushing too hard. So just be careful.
Okay. Thank
Okay?
you.
You're welcome. God.
Are you ready?
Oh,
I'm
God.
ready.
This is what I wanted to say for the end, okay? And it's really interesting that you said about the DMA and that. Were you doing the chelation with the DMA for heavy metals or something?
DMSA, yeah.
Is that what you, okay.
Yeah.
So start thinking about this process and everything else and that, because if you're not in line, which you're not, okay, it's interesting. So there's two parallel lines as I try to look at your dimensions from one end upward. There's one here and one here, and they come parallel side by side, which means you're not together.
Oh,
So everything's bouncing. There's a tremendous chaos going on between physical and spiritual, physical, spiritual, physical, spirit, all the way up. And it's creating that snake-like, but it's a double snake-like, okay, coming up. So this is going to cause tremors. It's going to cause high metals in your body, yes, of course, and everything else. Hyperthyroid, I mean, your adrenals are going to be shot. I mean, they're already probably shot. The whole fight or flight is going to be a constant thing. And then the worst thing is you never stop. And you're always processing something, constantly processing. It's like a multi-lane highway that you're on and you're not stopping.
mhm.
Okay. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to intertwine it. I'm going to start bringing them together. Okay. So first and foremost, honey, I want you to look straight at the camera. Okay.
Okay.
Please. And I want you to feel right here this is what you guys know, this is where your lymphatic pumps are, right? Is right there. So if they feel puffy or whatever else, that I want you to feel both sides and tell me which side is more puffy.
Let me see. Wow. They're both puffy. Maybe the left.
Right. Okay. So we're going to go from left inward. Okay. Because that's what the side we want to take.
Okay.
So I want you to look straight at me. And what we're going to do is we're going to start bringing everything together into center, into center, into center, into center. Stay there. Hold it. Take a breath. Now I want you to notice your tremors and your shakes. Does it feel like there's lessened?
Yes.
It does. It actually can see that it looks like it has. So you're going to have to practice this like 3 or 4 times. Is that seeing this and then bring it in feel what side that's you're puffier on, and take it from that side inward, and then you may have to come from the other side and keep practicing that until you're centered. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, you're clear on dimensions, honey. You got so much stuff, but everything was scattered. So what I did was I kind of just took a big net and put around both and squeezed it so that it would kind of come together. And then what is not needed will just leak out. And then what is part of it that you're missing will come together. Okay. This is a really odd thing to see this on a person, especially in your work, what you do. It's very odd to see this. Okay.
Tell me more about that. It's odd to see which part of it.
The part where you're split, where you're
Ah.
your spirituality's on this side, your physical's on this side, and they're fighting. You physical doesn't want anything to do with the spiritual. Spiritual doesn't want anything to do with the physical. But you chose this life and you chose this, and you've both been chosen. But the physical sees things in the spiritual it doesn't want to be part of, and the spiritual sees things in the physical it doesn't want to be part of. So now it's just to bring it back together and meld them. They're made to be together, and you've been split for a long time. And our last session, I didn't see this, but I see this now.
What causes it?
What causes it? Trauma.
Oh,
Certain traumas, constant traumas, constantly stepping outside yourself and everything else, and not wanting to be in your body. And that's what happens is your physical body starts telling your spirit, I don't want to feel anymore. And the spirit starts saying, well, we have to, but I don't want to listen to you. So you start fighting, and you're creating that chaos. So you have to take control and bring it together in that, because there has not been control of this. You have not controlled this at all. You've been just allowing it to do what it needs to do, in that you need to take back control. Now, it also happens to people that channel. Okay. You're a channeler. You have been a channeler. You just haven't got to talk as much as you want. So the Bendu in the mouth of God chakra that sits behind your neck and everything else, that what happens is that when you start to channel is you start to do this, is that I watch you as your head tilts forward, that to try to open up your sphincter spiritual muscle in the back there to allow more energy in. That's causing vibration in your body.
Oh.
So you have to talk about the energy around you to say, I'm in a physical body that can hurt. Because your spiritual side stepped outside, it's not telling your physical that, okay, you can't channel this way. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Bring it all together, talk, share, be in control, make contracts with every energy, make contracts with all the energy that wants to talk through you, do whatever, make contracts. Okay.
And where is my Kundalini right now?
It looks like you left it in a car somewhere. I don't know.
No, seriously.
It's actually wrapped around your second chakra. That's all it is, just wrapped around it right now. It looks like it's just wrapped around, and it wants to awaken, and just allow it to awaken, honey. Just let it wake, okay? No forcing it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So appreciate you, sweetie.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Both of you.
Emil has a book. It's okay of a book. It's one of the okay ones.
It's just okay.
It's actually amazing. And I tell a lot of my clients about this book. I'm always amazed about it. I get so much information from this book. Emil, you want to give yourself each plug?
Yeah, I'll do a selfless plug.
Yes.
You Are Sensitive, the second edition, your lifeline, everything you need to know about who you are, how to survive and make life good, it's in here. All the health conditions and challenges, the natural solutions are inside. Thanks, Rod.
You can get it on Amazon, or you can go to it. Actually, I think in this thing, you can actually go to his website and get it. So Amazon or on his website, wherever. It's awesome. I sent a lot of my sensitive clients, because it's like a dictionary and encyclopedia of understanding where you're at as a sensitive person and everything else.
Thank you, Rod.
Amazing. My book got turned into a class, and so it's not out yet. So I don't advertise my book anymore because it got turned into a class, and it's Chakras, a 7-year cycle. So that's coming out very soon. I'm very excited about that. It's amazing product. It's cool, cool, cool. Emil, you can listen to Emil and I every other week on the Rod Talks podcast.
On Wednesdays, it's Wise Man Wednesdays every other week.
Wise Man Wednesdays, the bad boys of spirituality talk on Wednesdays. And you can go to Facebook and actually watch us talk, or you can pull podcast up and listen to us talk. But yeah, it's every other Wednesday that you can hear us and talk and talk and talk. And Michael down there, he's been on my podcast, and he's an awesome podcaster too himself. So he's pretty amazing.
He taught me.
Huh? Michael
You
taught you?
You taught me.
No, whatever. So couple more things. The next Saturday, not because it's Saturday, next Saturday, Dr. Julie and I will be seeing patients next Saturday, and we're going to be doing half-hour assessments with bring your medicines, whatever else, because we're going to do wellness testing. We're going to do all this stuff, and then give a B12 shot, a complimentary B12 shot with each visit. So yes, and so the people that love Dr. Julie and that, Emil is pretty, but not as pretty as Dr. Julie. So
Not quite.
Huh?
Not quite.
Not quite. No. So come and see us next Saturday. Appointment only. You can see more information on my website and Facebook or whatever else. Then everything. Let's see. What else was there, Emil? What else?
No, I just want to say it was really super great to connect with all of you. What a blessing and a pleasure to be able to do that, to exchange energies this way. I'm kind of zoomed out. I think we're all zoomed out, but I really enjoyed this session, and it's great to work with Rod. We have a good time, and we reach out and try and help as many people as possible. It's been an absolute joy to meet you all.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you both so much. This was fascinating.
Yes, absolutely.
Great, thank
You
you.
guys are great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you guys. We'll talk to you later.
Many blessings to everybody.
Good.
Yep, blessings. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.